My name is Robert Peters. I am the Senior Vice President of the National Dropout Prevention Center and SPN. And folks, we got an amazing episode today. As you guys know, we have been talking about future-focused schools for all children. And when we talk about all children, we're talking about capital ALL, right? We don't believe that certain children deserve a future-focused education and certain children don't. And what we've done is we've been coming at you every week with different perspectives. We've been giving you an AI perspective with Adam Moeller. We've given you a leadership perspective with Dr. Mike McCormick out in Val Verde. And what we really want to talk about today, in today's installment, is what do future-focused schools look like for Black children, right? As we begin to think about our Black babies all across the nation, how do we look at future-focused strategies, and then how are those strategies different? Folks, we bring in experts, and I got an expert, Dr. Glynetta Fletcher. We call her Fletch, and she's really going to be talking with us about some of those pieces. Hey, Fletch, introduce yourself and talk to us about some things that you've been doing out in LA Unified in the sunny side of Los Angeles.
Good morning. Thank you, Dr. Peters, for that introduction. So yes, I'm Dr. Fletcher, but I prefer to go by Fletch. I've been in education for over 20 years in the role of a teacher, department chair, dean of discipline, assistant principal, and also a direct support from the district around initiatives for Black student achievement. And we got some good things going on, okay, in Los Angeles for Black students. So I can share a little bit about the work that I've done recently with Black Student Achievement, which is an initiative program that a lot of other districts and places are now wanting to model after, right? They want to emulate the work that we are doing when we specifically called out and had intentionality around preparing Black students and their families for life after high school, right? Real world, real life application, whether it's college or career readiness. So with Black Student Achievement, we created some indicators that will be supporting students academically, social-emotionally, and then also specifically around our parent support. We know that with most students, right, the parent support in elementary and early childhood is heavy, right? It's the backpacks, it's the hand walking straight to school. And you begin to see less and less of that as you get to the secondary level. So the plan really was intentional about how do we bring our parents back in? Because the work must be inclusive of the parents. It is not inclusive of them, right? Because we know that the first teacher is at home, right? And then we are an extension of what they have been taught, and we just expound on what they have given their children in preparedness for the world and for their career. So
definitely. I mean, you know, when I think about it, I mean, you guys are doing some amazing work out there in LA Unified, and it's totally different than other pieces and other systems across the country, because you guys have almost how many staff members just for Black students within the LA Unified? It was what, 50, 60? How many staff members you remember?
Well, there are 20 designated folks across schools.
Right.
Now we also have directors.
Right.
And then we also have counselors, school climate advocates. We have parent liaisons, and we have a mental health therapist and or support at each school site. So we're talking about hundreds of folks who are set at school specifically to support Black students.
Definitely. And, you know, one thing that I like about it is really like the organization, right? Like from the administration all the way down. And then how the weaving in of all of the pieces. One thing you talked about was parent engagement. That's huge. As we know, I've got a 12-year-old here, right? And, you know, she's at the point like, she's like, okay, daddy, drop me off here. I'm like, well, baby, you gonna give me a hug? She's like, Daddy, I'll give you a hug later, right? Like they kind of get a little disconnected as they get older. But you guys do a real good job of the parent engagement, the
Yes.
counseling, how you guys weave in the counseling, and then like this individual plan
Yes.
for all students, and then someone who kind of really supervise that individual plan, right? So I want to ask you a question, Fletch, and this is, I mean, as we begin to think about our this series, which is Future Focus for All Children, these schools for all children. One thing that we've done is we looked at it from a leadership perspective, but I want to begin to look at it from a student perspective now. If you could think about, as far as Black children, our Black babies, if you think about what does a future focused school look like for Black students, girls and boys, tell me, what do you think? Give me some characteristics of that school and some things that you guys are doing in LA.
Yes. So when I think about what a school needs to be for Black students, not just in LA, but around the world.
Right.
And some of the things that we're doing here right now is, one, they need to be seen, they need to be valued, and they need to be heard.
Right.
What does that look like? Seen mean the minute that I walk onto that campus, I know that there's a representation in the walls, the curriculum, the staff is reflected in for them, right? And what I mean like at the high school level, I'm not talking about having pictures of your scholar athletes hanging on the wall. I'm talking about your students for Student of the Month. I'm talking about perfect attendance. I'm talking about most improved. I'm talking about just an all-around scholar, like a kid who is doing the thing. They are recognized. They are seen, right? They're seen in the curriculum, meaning that not only are they learning about themselves, but they're learning about others. And it's not until their senior year that they're learning that there may be Black authors or Black poets or, other Black scholars, right? So their curriculum is reflective of that. They are seen in the celebrations that are happening throughout the month, throughout the year, throughout the entire time that they're on campus, and don't just do it at Black History Month, because that's just enough. It's just not enough. Future focused schools are not waiting till Black History Month to celebrate Black students on their campuses.
Exactly. Definitely.
When they're being valued, it's leveraging and looking at the assets that they bring to that campus to heighten their educational experience. What do I mean by that? If we know that we have students who are great presenters, they are great hosts, right? We're giving them the opportunities during the school day to host the school podcast. We're giving them the opportunities to lead student assemblies. Maybe they're not in leadership, but they still have the opportunity to lead, right? We're valuing the skill sets that they bring. We're valuing music. We're valuing culture within our campus and not making that like a, you can't do that here type of situation.
We don't do that here, right? Definitely. Right.
It's an after-hour experience. No, right? And it's validating what they bring to the campus in a way that you know that they are intertwined into the fabric of the school. And if that thread was plucked, the school campus would be different. Not we trying to embed it like it's a natural flow. Right. And when you say they're heard, it's like the students have a voice, right? They get to share their needs. They get to share the shifts that they would like to see. They get to contribute to the fabric of the school around maybe the type of assemblies they have, the field trips that they have, the things that they want to do. For example, in LA, you can ask any student here what college they want to go to. They're going to tell you 2 schools. What do you think they are?
2 schools, USC and UCLA, right?
Right? That's it.
And I'm from Texas. How would I know that, right?
Because it's a common thing. They don't know about the trade schools that have great offerings. And a future focused school is also going to highlight the need for a trade, right? We have some amazing children who grow up in families that have plumbing businesses, electrical businesses. They have entrepreneurship. That's not a like, yeah, we offer that after school. That's embedded in the curriculum and school offering, because there are some children who do some, I'm not going to say that I might have serviced them or paid for a service.
Sure.
But I know that they have, their families are doing these great things, and we need to give that as an offering, right?
Sure.
We have to embed that now and not put that later, right? Are we offering the opportunity for children to have college courses while they're earning their high school diploma, and not just a kid with the 3.0 or the 3.5?
Exactly. I like that. I like that. I love this seen, value, and heard, because, I love, it's extremely important that, the relationship piece, right? As you know, children of color and really Black children, I've seen all across the nation. I can go and I can say, hey, what did your teacher say? And I remember one time a child says, she don't see me.
Right.
She actually said those words to me, right? She doesn't see me. So the thing is if a child does not really feel connected, then a child is not going to actually work, whether they are African-American or anyone. We're grown-ups. If we're not seen, then we're not work. We're not going to work. And then value, like, how do you take what I have to say into consideration, right? How do I feel valued? These are these extremely pieces that we have that we call resilience factors of how do you have someone make you feel that you valued. And then to me, that last piece is is the engagement, the ownership piece, right? Like, this is my place. That's where the pride actually comes in, right? Yeah. So if I'm a child and I have a sense of pride about where I stay, because you are valuing me and what I want to do is important, that is extremely important. I think, and I agree. If you're looking at Black children, you've got to have those three essential pieces. I love it. The seen, you got to be seen, you got to be valued, and you got to be heard. And those are three totally different pieces that any organization, has got to ensure that they've set up systems for that. So, hey, it's always good, Fletch. As we continue to talk through it, folks, if you want to get a little bit more information about Future Focus Schools for All Children, Black children, and all children, hey, hit us up on the link there. You got a link. We want to make sure that we connect you, bring you into the family. We've got a lot of information. This is just one part of a series with Dr. Fletcher and others, really talking about Future Focus Schools for All Children.